Hey guys.
Hi, friends. So it is voting season. Voting is definitely in the air. Everywhere we look, we're seeing stuff about voting. And we thought it'd be pretty important to talk to you guys today just a little bit about it. Hopefully, the message doesn't get lost in all the other voting discussions. But this one's pretty important because it fits in a lot with our life philosophy. And it is that as much as people love the vote come November, um, is to remind everyone that you vote every day. You don't just vote in November. We're voting every day with the dollars that we spend. So it's a pretty important concept, and it's something that is definitely worth sitting down and thinking about. I like to think of it kind of like just a little pie chart in my head about the daily, weekly, monthly expenditures, and think like, where did those dollars go that I spent? Did half of it go to savings? Where'd the other half go? Did it go to, 30% went to filling my car up? Then I had a 30% of, at least of my dollars, vote for big oil. And if I, for some reason, bought a lot of Tupperware, then I would also be voting for big oil that same month. And yeah, I mean, everything else that you buy, and the more you break it down, the more it kind of enlightens you as to where your money's going. And that's where we as people and as consumers kind of hold this power. Because obviously corporations are kind of what's running the show. It's not necessarily politicians. We get so caught up in politicians and, who we like and who we don't like. And behind the scenes are these huge corporations that are lobbying and pretty much running the show. They're puppeting the whole system. So if we continue to give them our money en masse, then they continue to produce the products they produce. So if you don't want plastic pollution, then the biggest thing you can do is vote against it, which when I say vote against it, actually I'm saying don't buy as much. You cannot buy any at all. I'm not saying we have to be at a level of perfection per se, but I'm just saying we all have power to make a change. So if you don't like, so if you want to make a change in that direction for a vote against pollution, a vote against big oil, instead of buying plastic water bottles, buy a water filter. It's a simple thing. You still get water. Corporations now, if we all did it tomorrow, they'd have no reason to make plastic water bottles, little plastic water bottles that are wrapped in plastic to transport. So think about the big change we could make as people, and it's so important. We have so much power, and this is a big part of our philosophy. It's why we're living. It's a big part of why we're living the way we are. Yes, we spend some money towards different areas, and that's making small votes towards them. But that's the key. They're small votes. So we have the power to, if we just consume less altogether, our votes become that much smaller. So again, back to that percentage kind of idea. If 30% of my vote went towards filling up my car, but I only spent $100 this month, that's, the $30 or whatever towards it, let's say, just as an example. So my vote is really small. In every direction. So if we all collectively did that, imagine the change we could make in the world. And that's how we make the change we want to see. So
Yeah, we started the 3R thing a long time ago, and it kind of gone to the wayside. And a lot of people just totally forgot about the first R of reduce.
yeah,
So if you just reduce what you need, there won't be that much more garbage or that much more that the corporations need to make or anything. And then obviously you can reuse it and recycle it. So there's a lot of things that we can be doing, a lot of things that we don't need, and a lot of things that we can repurpose. So you don't need to be going out and buying it brand new again, making the corporations thinking, hey, they want more new stuff. So obviously they're going to keep making new stuff, like the bottled water thing. Like, you can still have water. We still drink water all the time. That's all we drink, but we filter it or we get it from the fountain at the stores or anything, and we have reusable bottles. So we've never put plastic bottles in the recycling or in the garbage at all.
yeah,
So just little things that could make giant differences. And when we have this big of a population, small things will make giant waves in a pond. So just need to start
absolutely.
the ripple.
Absolutely. And you know, if you have children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, or care about the future at all, or care about wildlife, any of it, then this is the changes we can make now for them. So we have the power to change the world. And that's the important part of our ability to vote every day. So,
Yeah, so just remember, every time you spend your dollar, figure out what corporation it's going to and seeing if that's who you want to keep making those things. So
yep. And every day you can change the way that your dollars are spent and get better and better. And that's kind of the point, is like I said, it's not about perfection. It's about us being able to kind of analyze. I mean, we try to change things every day, and you learn different things. We learned about our food system and how some of those dollars were contributing to certain practices that a lot of us don't believe in, right? So now we're changing, and then we kind of a lot of people started spending money in the organic section, which was a great movement. But then we've also kind of learned some things about the organics that, a lot of big companies have bought it up. And so now we have a new change that we can make. We can change ourselves to local. We can forage more. This is a perfect example of a transition we're going through to try to spend our food dollars better. If at all. Like I said, foraging is free. Yeah. So yeah, just another example of how your dollar matters and how you can change every day, and just constantly be vigilant about this. And don't put all your weight on the November vote. Put your weight on the vote every day, and we can change the world.
You vote more with your dollar, so
yep.
Pay attention to what you're spending your dollar on.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and hopefully this was a helpful thought.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.